Okay. Actually, all of my thoughts are just here. All right, so okay, so I wrote this earlier today. So this is my opinion on absolutely all of this and everything more. Pretty much everything we've talked on so far. I've iterated some of it, but I guess this is a good chance to reiterate it. All right, so I fully agree that we shouldn't rely on physical characteristics to determine who each claw grime is. They don't have to physically resemble the person whose chakra they absorbed, and their personality doesn't have to match. In a sense, they're just like Kashi and Koji. I love how you say Kashi and Koji with like a Boston accent. Anyways, they are.
Wait, is this a topic that you guys were discussing before?
No, I just wrote this down in general.
This was a topic you guys were talking about before.
But we can talk about it. Do we want to go through each point all at once or one point at a time?
Your podcast.
I mean, that's fair.
Oh shoot, you were writing a script. How
oh no, this is just something I was writing earlier today for the podcast. You could say it's a script for the podcast if you want, but it's talking points. Oh, this is more so a thing that me and Conway have been arguing because I agree with you on this because you agree with me on this. But Conway's like, oh well, it looks like Jigen, so it has to be him.
I mean,
see, if I just do this about Conway, I'm just gonna force his hand. He's gonna have to join because he's not gonna let that fly.
It's weird. Jura is like an interesting character because we don't even know whether or not whether or not that is Jigen Isshiki or whether or not that's just the Taintails, becoming human, becoming a humanoid. It's we don't really know all the details about Jura. We know about everyone else, like Hidari, Matsuri, and like the bug Shinju, but Jura is an interesting character.
I mean, technically it hasn't been 100% officially confirmed for sure that they're coming from where they are. They've just said it and shown it, but that's not enough proof for 100% confirmation. They could just be wrong.
I've seen a lot of people say that Jura is Gaara.
No. I mean that there's no confirmation that Matsuri comes from Moegi and that Hidari comes from Sasuke and that the Bug one comes from Bug. We just don't know yet. Just not confirmed yet. Yeah, it's just stated and shown, but not confirmed.
Like almost in thin air. Like it's there, but it's just not really fully formed yet.
So I have a game for everyone to play based on something Conway and I were saying and arguing about yesterday. So here is a chart of appearance identifiers. Where do we put Jura on the chart? So with this, you have on the left hand of the scale, it's 100% different. It's like, for example, Shino and the Raikage. There's no identifying features that look similar even vaguely whatsoever at all. They're completely two different character designs, unmistakable from one another in every aspect, silhouette, digitalized, like live action. There's no confusing it, no mistaking it, 100% different in every regard. On the other hand, you have something identical, such as the Shin clones. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them were down to the T, down to the very pixel, the exact same copy and paste of one another. No difference whatsoever down to the genetic level, even appearance-wise. And then obviously you have like twins or even the white Zetsu. Some of them look different. You have a few distinguishing identifiers. You got siblings and parent and child. And then the middle, 50-50 mesh, original but inspired, good mesh to blend. You have identifying features, more so on the left. Vague similarities, twice, I'd probably... Oh, vague similarities, plural. And then vague similarity. There you go. And then 100% different and unique. Where do we put Jura on this? I'm going to put Jura vague similarities at best. This is where he maxes out. But it's probably vague similarity. Where do you guys put him?
So what's the point of this, Oodie?
Where do you identify Jura as?
I don't know what's happening, bro.
Where on this little graph thing here do you place them? Somewhere on the spectrum. They got to go somewhere.
Vague similarity to whom?
To anyone at all. Jigen, Isshiki, Gaara, Kawaki, Aruka. I don't care. Or are they just their own unique individual character design never seen before in the series? Not similar to anyone else. Yeah.
I think that's objectively true. That it's their own unique design that we've never seen before in the series.
Well, that would be the 100% different, unique, if that's your answer, which is fine.
I mean, I think that should be everybody's answer. I mean, it's just true.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Conway? That Mello agrees with me. No, he's listening.
Oh.
How's he supposed to answer though?
He can.
Yeah, you gotta get him on the podcast.
Yeah. So Kamui can join the stage and then answer. Is how he can answer. Kamui, what do you think about that? The whole joining the stage part of it, of the walkie-talkie stage, of which you can join.
Bait him and okay.
To be fair, Mello, whereas this is true, again, it's a spectrum, so it is true, but he also does have, you can argue, some similarities. Or at least
I think maybe you should change your chart there to be worded different.
Well, but we know it's not 100% different unique because, for example, Jura has 2 eyes, just like Tamari. So no, they aren't 100% different and unique.
Why is it even an option?
Because it's conceptual, hypothetical.
Okay, so what's the point? I'm so.
Where do you put them on here?
Wait, what happened while I was gone?
In Immortal Phoenix?
So
there's a chart.
Yeah, I don't know. The entire question he's asking is very vague.
No, it isn't.
Like the entire chart I'm looking at here.
No, it isn't.
Jura is his own guy. It's his own. Like they're all just their own individual characters, but like a lot of them have similarities to past characters because I mean, I don't know. Frieza has Raditz has similarities to like Nappa. Like it's in the same universe, same type. Like there's only so many type of archetypical.
I mean, physical attributes in this case.
Well, he's a skinny, like pale humanoid. So yeah, that's similar to like I don't know, Shin Uchiha.
Yeah, could be any
Isshiki.
Yeah,
pretty much. Jura can be anything. We don't really know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So,
why did you call Conway a terrorist? That's what I'm wondering too.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Conway, he said if Oodie tells me he started stage in chat, I can explain this much better. And then he also texted to Mello. He's wording it very badly. Oodie, you can write a message. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be helpful.
Yeah. So Conway, come on stage so you can explain it better than me. Okay, so Camcam, to catch you up, we have this chart here of identifying features. And so on the very right, you have identical characters. For example, the Shin clones, some of them looked identical. You have like White Zetsu as well. Some of them were just down to the T, the exact same. And then on the very left, you have characters that look nothing alike whatsoever in any regard whatsoever, period. So I chose Shino / Raikage as an example. You could argue this doesn't exist, but that was just my example for this, but whatever. Yeah. So where would you place Jura on this chart? Is he vaguely similar to another character? Or is he exactly the same as another character? Or is he a good middle? Or is he not at all? Or where do you put him?
Are you just saying this because like you have face blindness?
It's a game, Camcam, and we're going to do a quiz tonight to figure out which one of us. Okay, we're gonna figure it out. And when you're wrong and look dumb, don't come crying to me.
Okay.
Okay.
He has face blindness, guys.
Okay, we're gonna do a quiz tonight to prove that I don't and that they do.
He's face blindness.
Okay, we're gonna test. We're gonna see.
Jesus.
So Mello, what's your final official answer?
I don't care.
All right.
Is that an option?
Yes, I mean that's the option I chose basically.
Bro, yeah. he's definitely his own character. Unique is doing a lot of work for that category, but he also has similarities to other characters. Like Momoshiki had similarities to like Kaguya. They're like pale, and like the little eyebrow, little dot things looked similar.
Yeah, maybe they can be brothers and sisters.
Yeah, still they're distinct, but there are similarities. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think Conway would be able to explain this much better than like
I don't.
we need a translator.
Yeah, I don't think he would. So I think the answer we all agree and the right answer is somewhere down here on the very left end of the spectrum. Whereas Kami would probably say it's either twins or identical. But we can move on now.
Well, I think we should get Conway's opinion because you shouldn't speak for him.
Yeah, I agree. Conway,
So-
go ahead, give your opinion.
So why don't you concede?
Concede.
Yeah.
Even though I have the right opinion?
And give him what he wants.
Yeah.
Oh, I have
I don't
given
know
him what he
why.
wants.
But concede is such a funny word. it's such a funny word.
See, but it isn't. Can you prove that's how it works?
Can you prove it's not how it works? You said it
We're moving
doesn't
on.
work the way
All right, so
too.
Jura, where do you place Jura on this scale, Conway?
Yeah, so this is the thing from earlier. Yeah, so the way Oodie explained this is completely wrong, and in fact, the
Of
graph
course it is,
itself
yeah.
is essentially incorrect because
Yes, of course. So
saying
so give your
100%.
interpretation.
Well, no, so I gotta explain. So, for example, what Mello said is, well, he's a unique character with a unique design. To give you my example, I said, Kid Boruto, Kid Naruto. They look incredibly similar to the point that people call them a copycat design, basically. However, factually speaking, they are different designs. They are unique. They might be 95% similar. That doesn't mean they're not unique. A twin brother could be 99.99999% similar to you, but technically speaking, he is unique. He is not the same. So to say, oh, they're a unique character, that doesn't have any bearing on whether or not they look extremely similar. So the point of the question is, does Jura look similar to Kawaki or Jigen or whoever you want to pick? Is the answer yes or no? If it's yes, to what extent? Is it really similar? Is it pretty similar? Is it barely noticeable? You're grasping at straws. That's the real point here. So the question to ask Mello, Immortal, Camcam, everyone but Oodie, is do you think Jura looks barely like Kawaki or Jigen? Does he look a bit like Kawaki or Jigen? Or does he look a lot like Kawaki or Jigen? Which of the three? Or I guess you could also do the unrealistic outliers. He looks 0% like him and he looks 100% like him, which we already know aren't the answers.
Does anyone have like any
Which is what the
side by
spectrum is.
side comparisons?
Yes, let's go find
Yeah.
where did we put
Bring
them?
up some
Actually,
images.
okay, hold on. I'll post it in chat. I have the
Um,
photos on my phone somewhere.
I think they're in chat.
Okay, so
Yeah, so even though I
Here's these
clarified
three.
the 100% thing for Mello earlier, you can come to your own conclusion based on the fact that I qualified this as a spectrum to have the inductive reasoning to understand what this means. In fact, regardless if it's even possible or not, you can still say that the spectrum itself works. Because that's just the end of
Mello,
the
I
spectrum.
posted in chat some images. I'll see if I have any others.
In the
on
same
hand.
way, Infinity...
I'll also include Gara for the sake of the people who say Gara.
In the same way, infinity isn't actually a concept, a real thing, that would still be the end of a number line, because that's the spectrum.
So anyway, Mello, I sent them in chat for you to look at, as well as Immortal. If
I
you
think
haven't seen them,
what is that noise? Like something cutting in and out.
Immortal, I think
that
that's
might
you.
be me. I don't know.
That might be Conway. Yeah, Immortal, I think it's
What?
you.
Oh,
I think
Can you
for
fix the mic?
is it me?
I'm
Well,
pretty sure it's
how
Immortal.
am I hearing my own mic? Oh, okay. I would say I do think because when I first initially saw him, I thought he did look like Jigen. I did. So visually, visually there are some similarities, but I think the thing maybe people are leaning more so into is just like how he carries himself. Like his demeanor
Yeah, that's
seems
what
to
I
be
said.
extremely similar. But
And
that's just
yeah,
my
so
opinion.
both the personality and the appearance can have similarity. And so Oodie says that it just
Especially the type of
doesn't matter.
leadership roles. You know?
I'm saying we can't rely on that.
Yeah, but the problem here, Oodie, is when somebody says, I
I'm gonna mute
think
Phoenix real quick.
he's connected to Jigen because he looks and acts like Jigen, that's a good reason to think he's related to Jigen. It's not a 0% probability. It's the same reason it was true for Moegi Matsuri. Okay, there's reasons you thought it because they look similar, they use the same jutsu, and so on. You just have reasons for your case. When it comes to Gaara, I'm like, I don't have anything. All the things I wrote you a long ass paragraph of similarities for Jigen or Kawaki and so on. I'm like, I can't say that about Gaara. That's just not really there. But it is there for Jigen or Kawaki. There is a similarity. He's leaning against the same freaking cubes. Minus maybe he has the extra design on top.
That was the stupidest argument I heard from Kido, is the fact that, oh, he's flying. Flying is Kawaki's ability. That's an Otsutsuki ability.
Yeah, so that's not a good one because yeah, it applies to any
Of course he said that.
But Camcam, that's my same argument for the stupid freaking Earth style jutsu. You think this complex Otsutsuki doesn't have a basic elemental ninjutsu?
But here's
I don't
the
care
problem.
about the Earth style jutsu. I've never said anything about that.
Okay, calm
But
me
Oodie,
down.
the problem though is whether it's basic or not, Moegi is the only single character in the entire story to use it.
Okay.
Whether or not someone else could easily learn it, whatever. She's the only one to do it. Whereas flying, literally every Otsutsuki can and does in fact do it.
So we
it's
only
not
see one
unique.
example with the Earth style jutsu versus
Another example.
we
another
see
example,
four.
The Chidori,
we see a million
the
examples
Chidori
of
is
flying.
not a jutsu that can only be performed by Sasuke or Sarada. Other people could technically learn
That's
it,
what I'm saying.
but when
It's a
you see it
basic
wielded by a
jutsu.
guy who looks like Sasuke.
So is it
Again,
reasonable
but
to
when you see it
assume?
wielded by-
Is it reasonable to assume that just
It's not
because
an
we've
assumption,
only seen
it's a
it from
theory.
Moegi, let me say my thing. Is it reasonable to assume that just because we've only seen it from Moegi, that only Moegi can use that Earth style jutsu? Or is it more reasonable to assume other people within the world of Naruto have the
Of course,
ability to
Kidomaki
use
shows
that
up when I'm
jutsu?
talking shit.
But Oodie, again, the problem with the way you're framing that is nobody is saying she's the only person who can use the jutsu. The point is, she's the only one we ever see do it, and so that's the first person that comes to mind. There's other reasons too. She looks like her. She hadn't been in the story just like Sasuke and so on.
Okay, also the personality thing you
So to
said doesn't
discredit-
apply because none of these divine
I didn't-
clawgrimes have the personality. You did say personality earlier.
I didn't. No, I said if you see a similarity, that's a noteworthy thing. I never claimed there was a similarity in personality.
Okay,
but
so
I'm
you
saying if there is,
agree that
that's a noteworthy thing.
you agree with me that none of them share the same personality.
The same? No. Could you argue for similarities? Absolutely.
I think you can argue very different.
For example, Sasuke the Hidari is not the most talkative. He's more of a quiet one. Same with Sasuke. He's not the most talkative. He's the quietest one of the group.
Is he?
The bug guy,
How are
we
you
didn't really see enough
determining
of
that?
both.
They
Yes,
all
Sasuke.
talked about equally.
No, they didn't. Hidari talked the least.
Go look at the
or you
chapter
could argue
again.
Bug didn't talk
Go,
that much.
yeah, okay, then,
but-
yeah, exactly. Go look at how many words each of them
Matsuri-
said.
I'm not done. And I said that Bug is tough to say because we don't see a lot from him. Matsuri and Jura talk much more than Hidari did. And Moegi, I mean, again, we can't really confidently say, but like they seem like more talkative people than Sasuke. I'm not saying it's definitive proof. It's just a little sign.
Okay, by the way, the similarity between Gaara and Jura would be the hairstyle. They got
Yeah,
that
and I
similar,
don't
like,
agree with
cowlick
that.
way.
I don't think the hairstyle does. I don't think the hairstyle does look similar.
Yeah, in the same way that I don't
Not
think
only
the
is it going in
hairstyle
the
looks
wrong direction.
not similar to Jigen.
Well-
It's not going in any direction on Jigen.
It's not the okay. Again, I've
It's
told
the
you this like
horn.
50,000 times. You're gonna piss me off. I'm not referring to that thing on his head as a hairstyle. I said it looks like Kawaki's horn. Look at the next page. of
Kidomaki said it
images.
looks like Kawaki's hairstyle.
I don't care what he said right now.
Okay.
I'm telling you what I'm saying.
And I'm telling you what other
I'm
people are
seeing the
saying
horn.
too.
That's fine.
It doesn't
But
look
I'm
exactly
telling
like the
you-
horn either. That's not how his horn looks like. Go find me a
Hello.
picture of
Hello.
Jigen's
Oh
Hello.
horn.
my
What's
god.
up,
Hi,
Kido?
Kidomaki.
Kido.
What's up,
What
Kido?
did
Kido?
you want to say?
Good night.
Oodie,
Really?
This is you're
Good
You're
night.
going to
Good
the
night,
ex-
everyone.
like you're going to the extremes for no reason. Did I say it looks the same? No. I said it looks similar. It looks like a partially formed Isshiki horn.
Then all their horns
Wait,
look
That's still a
similar.
similar.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
No, it's not, Oodie. That's not how that works.
Yes,
Find me another
Kidomaki, you
horn
can
that
ask a
doesn't look
question.
similar.
I think I was muted, chat.
What was the issue with the flying thing? You guys saying?
Other Otsutsuki
Why
fly.
is it not a good point?
Because that's an Otsutsuki
Is the
ability.
10 tails an Otsutsuki?
It's an interesting question because
That
it
is an
can
interesting
fly
question.
and levitate.
I mean, the only thing
It's
that
plausible considering
well,
so-
Kaguya
well,
was
then you're
the
using
10 tails.
that.
Oodie.
Not really. You're using a theory to dispute a point.
I'll give
That doesn't
Kido
make
a
sense.
point in credit in his favor. We don't see Matsuri, Hidari, or the boat guy fly. Only Jura. And the
Yeah.
the only person who
So-
seems to have a connection to Jura from our theories is Kawaki or Jigen, two people who can fly. There is some merit to what he's getting at. He
Two
doesn't
people
have to be
who are
Kawaki specifically.
also-
It
Do
could
you
be
think
Jigen
that means
or
the others
Ishiki.
can't
but
fly
the
because
point
they
is-
haven't yet?
No,
Because we
that's-
don't know
but
It's
you
just a
can't
sign of
use a theory to disprove my point. You have to have evidence.
But
So
what's your point
we're
and
all
what's my theory?
speculating here, right? But then
So
no, because we're all speculating, right? So I'm
Yeah.
speculating that they can fly based on what we've seen. You're trying to dispute my point based on what we haven't seen, as if it's fact. That doesn't make sense, you know. So we
and
don't
you're
know
saying that generally-
10 tails can fly, and because the 10 tails, we've never seen the 10 tails fly.
He's not the 10 tails.
Exactly.
We've seen 10 tails Jinchuriki fly, but one thing to point out is that I think the 10 tails in Naruto absorbed an Otsutsuki, right?
Well, no, the Kaguya integrated with the Divine Tree to become that Ten Tails. So
No,
it is an.
Well, the 10 tails, no, I mean the 10 tails from Naruto. It gave Kaguya a fruit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it
Well,
had to
no, the Divine
absorb
Tree
an.
did, but
No, well, the 10 tails is the divine tree, right? So the divine tree gave her a fruit.
Well,
You
you
know, you
can't.
need to consume an Otsutsuki to produce a fruit, right?
That's contradicted.
That's stated in the show.
Because you're using.
It's not
hasty
contradicted.
generalization-
You're just.
Because no,
Bro, the
what
answer-
I'm
the
saying,
answer
you're
is yes.
using the
Yes.
same.
The answer is
you're-
yes. The answer is yes. I don't know why
You're
you're trying to
using
go around it. It's just fact.
interchangeable words when they matter, but
No,
you're
we're
saying that
not.
we can't do
What-
that.
I'm not saying you can't do anything. I'm just saying that we know it's stated that you have to eat an Otsutsuki to bear fruit. So we know the 10 tails in Naruto ate an Otsutsuki. So you could say that's why, the 10 tails Jinchuriki could fly, Because, 10 tails can fly.
But aren't you basing
mean,
it
the
on
Otsutsuki
what
can
we've
fly.
seen rather than what we haven't seen? Is that the only way for divine tree to make a
No.
fruit?
Well, that's what's stated. I'm not going to use a theory to disprove a fact, Unless you have some
But
evidence
again,
to
it's not
to say
stated that
otherwise.
it's the only way.
yeah. Well, actually,
Well, that's
I mean,
that's
it's
So-
stated
what
that it
Amado
only
said.
So the
becomes a
point is that
divine
we don't
tree
know.
if
After
they eat it
eating
as
a
supposed to
fruit.
be, and that it only produces a fruit if it's a divine tree. So
I mean, you can theorize, but I'm just going off what's said.
So, mm,
But you're using what's
Jura being able to
specifically
fly.
said to apply to apply generally.
What are you guys even arguing about?
I don't even know. at
Whether-
this point.
I
don't
think-
even know at this
I
point.
think it all boils down to whether or not Jura is an Otsutsuki, like a 10 tails-esque Otsutsuki, sort of like hybrid being, due to it being able to levitate.
I mean, personally,
My
for me,
theory would make
he's
it
either
make
connected
sense
to
if he has
Kawaki or
Kawaki.
Jigen.
But
It's either
I think-
Kawaki or Jigen in my eyes.
I think it's
Or
Kawaki
Ishiki.
and Ishiki because I think people tend to forget that Kawaki is 80% Ishiki. Like he literally has Ishiki's chakra and Ishiki's DNA, so
Hey,
it-
kiddo,
yeah.
could you explain your theory real quick?
Well, the theory in general, like I came on late, so I heard you guys say something about the mannerisms and so on, the hands in pockets. I think when he held down Kawaki, the clawgram, like he used this is a theory, by the way, okay? So the
That's fine.
theory is that he
Sounds
held
like
down
Oodie's.
Kawaki, yeah, and he basically absorbed his chakra because he had the Renegon. So I'm assuming, it's a theory that maybe the clawgram had the ability to absorb chakra using the Renegon, and it absorbed some of Kawaki's chakra. Now, people say, there's something interesting in the show. This is isn't really concrete, but we see Sarada kind of speculate that the clawgram turning into a tree, a fake tree or whatever, it's somewhat of a defect because it's absorbing chakra from non-Otsutsuki. So I'm saying that the reason why Kawaki didn't turn into a tree, or even if it bit Kawaki, it wouldn't, is because Kawaki's chakra is Otsutsuki chakra. So the cloudgram absorbing Kawaki's chakra didn't turn it into a tree.
Well, it didn't devour him anyway.
Yeah, but
I fully agree,
the
by the way,
devour thing
Kido.
is kind of weird because I don't think it needs to devour them to get the point of them biting people is to suck their chakra, and the chakra
Yeah.
that they take is what turns them into a tree. It's not the fact that they devour them. So if the cloudgram has a renegon that can absorb chakra by simply touching them, and when someone absorbs chakra with the renegon, there isn't always a physical, like, something that shows it. I don't remember the word to use right now, but yeah, something that shows that you're absorbing chakra. We start with the Predator path in Naruto versus Pain. It was holding on to him, absorbing his chakra. We couldn't see it with the naked eye, but it was doing it. So it would be something similar to that. It can absorb his chakra. I didn't know, and then it would have like Ishiki's chakra as well, along as like Kawaki's chakra. So that's basically the theory. I would see that it has like the similar hairstyle. It's a mohawk. Of course, there is like the curve at the back and the curve at the front and so on. So it's kind of like a mixture of Ishiki and Kawaki, because again, Kawaki's 80% Ishiki, So that's basically the theory. Hands in pockets, I think that's a really good indication. It has his mannerisms. Kawaki is the only character that does this, by the way. And the first thing this character does, I mean, Jura, is he appears, he's flying with his hands in his pocket. And of course, then you have the fact that he's flying. And I think Kishimoto doesn't just do stuff for the sake of doing stuff. So like he has every Shinju showing their ability in that chapter. The Sasuke one showing Shidori, Moegi one showing Earth Style. And Bug didn't have an ability, so he's just using the regular Ten Tails ability. We saw that in the war. The Ten Tails is able to like transform its body into shapes and all that stuff, and into weapons. This isn't a new
I also
thing.
thought that could just be like his ninja tech ability by chance if he has one, but we don't
Yeah,
know.
true.
That wouldn't go
Doesn't
on
Sarada
his
put her hands in her
cloudgram.
pockets too?
Yeah.
Sarada does it. Sarada has
Yeah.
pockets.
Yeah.
Other characters do put hands in their
Oh,
pockets
oh.
at some point in this series.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
I think it's
Kawaki
more.
does it a lot in the time skip.
Well, more so characters that
So does Sarada.
interacted with the clograms. Well, Sarada did interact with them, right?
Yeah.
So
not-
I
Where
get,
the hell
I'm
did
Listen,
bullshitting,
Soda
I'm bullshitting.
go?
I get what you're
No,
saying.
I have a
not
question.
bullshitting. It makes sense to bring it up because I guess I could just say, the one that interacted with Sarada didn't have the Renagon is the
I'm
one.
playing around, but yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
No, Kido, I fully agree with everything you said, except for the hands in a pocket thing. That is a big reach to me, because it's like saying, oh, Jura, he talks. Kawaki talks, that's a similarity. Oh my god, Jura, he breathed. You know what Kawaki did in chapter 42?
Yeah, but
Not
again, Oodie,
really.
the point is,
It's
but
different.
the point is
It's
whether
such a
it's a
general
unique
thing.
that stands out. So, for example, Earth Style Grapple Jutsu, only Moegi does it.
Like,
If
people have
Kawaki was the only
mannerisms.
person
Yeah,
to
I
put
really
his
think
hand...
it has to be something really
So, like,
unique
if
like
Kawaki
that.
stands out for being one of the only characters who puts his hands in his pocket, then it would stand out as something important.
The
If
Earth Style
literally
Grapple
every
One of
character
Jutsu is
did
one
not
of the
it,
unique.
it
characters
wouldn't
who
stand out.
interacted with the clogram specifically.
Well,
the clogram had a
Jura.
Renagon.
So here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
For Oodie, I think maybe this will help you, but Oodie's always trolling, so I don't think he cares. But so it's definitely a theory. But what I would say is it's probably not one that's rooted in like on solid footing. There's a lot of reaches are being had, but I wouldn't deny that it is a theory and or their right to make it, right? So that's why I'm confused. Like, what are you arguing against? Because they're not saying this is definitive. It is a theory. I don't believe it at all. I think it's on shaky ass ground, but it still exists. It's still valid to make it. So I'm not sure what you're arguing against exactly.
For me, I
He's
think
arguing against nothing. Okay.
I'm like 50-50 between it being this or Jura being the Ten Tails itself, and he didn't bite anyone or be anyone else. He's just his own unique Otsutsuki himself or whatever. I'm 50-50 between
So
those
for me-
two ideas. But go ahead, Conley.
Well, I'm essentially the same with a slight modification in that I think it either was because he got chakra from Kawaki, or it is the Ten Tails' main body and he didn't bite anyone. However, if that's the case, that's the reason why I think it would be Ishiki or Jigen. Not going to go down the rabbit hole, but it's kind of like a crossbreed. But the thing, I can give kind of points for and against the Kawaki thing. So on one hand, you do have to establish that if that claw grime absorbs chakra from Kawaki, it had to have traveled back to the Ten Tails' main body because Kawaki literally killed that claw grime. It's
Can I
he
actually ask a
blew it up
question?
dead. So it has to have traveled back. Yeah, what's up?
What is when you form a theory for a video, like do you have like things that need to be met in order for you to make your theory? Like, do you care that it's, I don't want to say valid because it's a theory, but like for me, I'll just say for me, like I never make that theory because I can never feel comfortable with just saying the claw grimes absorb chakra. Like if I look at the material, I'm like, where in this material is there any indication whatsoever at any point in the entire franchise's history that alludes to this? Not even proves it, just alludes to it. I can't find a single instance. I would never even feel comfortable making the
That's
claim.
why I would
Kinda
never
like
make
the
a
Ten
video
Tails
of
soldier.
Walky
hold
being
on.
the claw grime for me.
Hinting towards what exactly?
That basically the abilities of this Ten Tails in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Which ability? Absorbing chakra?
Well, I suppose that would be one of them.
I'm like, okay, sure. Sorry.
So I hope you realize on
Alright,
Jura,
man.
the thing on his head might not be hair or a horn. It could just be the thing of his clothes as well. That could just be his character design.
It's a claw mark. It is a claw mark. That is not hair. The point is that a
Obviously.
claw mark.
No, I
looks
know
like
it's a
a
claw
horn.
mark. But in the
But
same way,
it's the same like
in the same way,
it's the same like
Moegi's hair is
Oodie.
a claw mark, but it's supposed to be
It's a
her
penis.
hair.
It's a pin.
Yes.
Definitely.
I'm saying in this case, it could
And
just
I
be
don't
the
think that's
design
his
of a claw mark. It might
clothing.
not resemble anything.
It's a head
Like,
penis.
I don't think he's wearing a shirt on his head. I think it's a claw mark horn. Is what I think.
Okay, you can think that.
But
That's even funny because Code has the same thing. I'm just thinking like Code just sitting down,
Yeah.
and then a hand just reaches out and grabs him. Like, bro has no privacy, bro. He has no
No,
privacy.
Actually, that's a great
Boruto has
point.
no privacy, bro.
Okay,
Oh,
so
that's true.
He can't
So-
even rub one out without looking over his shoulder.
so Kamui, because the claw grimes have his chakra and genetic material, and this claw grime has a claw mark on its head, this claw grime has to be Code.
Ain't no way.
That's a similarity between
Hold
Code
on.
and him.
Bro, what?
there is a similarity between code. But here's the problem. That doesn't mean it has to be code because, as we know, each random claw grime isn't code. So that doesn't mean that any claw grime has to be code. Code puts
Moreover.
claw
But
marks
it
on
could be.
people all
Look,
the
look,
time.
look at
Doesn't
its,
mean
look
Damon
at
became-
Jura's eyes. Jura's eyes look like Code's eyes.
No, they don't. Put them side by side. Let's see.
They absolutely do, if I'm being honest. The point here is that if you look at a rock and want it to look like a diamond, it's going to look like a diamond, even if it's just a rock. Any rock.
Wait,
Cap.
is Jura wearing underwear, bro? Because he
Cap.
got like this like mid drift thing going. I don't know what's happening here.
Does he need to wear underwear?
Oh, you
Well,
don't think he, you
according
don't think he
to
has junk?
Oodie, these things do not
Does
have
he?
gender. So
He's a dickless
Does he?
bastard.
Doesn't mean, Camcam, that he doesn't have to have underwear.
Oh my goodness.
he
Alright,
doesn't need
Oodie,
underwear.
I'm pretty
It
sure-
took me a
Ain't
minute to
nothing
find the
underneath
panel,
there.
But
Me
I'll
too,
send
we
you
got
the
There's
like
panel
nothing
all
underneath
of
for
it.
you! You
He
don't
doesn't have
wear
gender, remember,
underwear.
Oodie?
Okay?
Oodie, in
I have
chat,
gender.
I'm posting the
Camcam, let's
panel.
be honest. You're not wearing underwear because you have gender. That's not the reason you're wearing underwear.
Bro
I'm
said
removing that
because you
panel.
have
Port
gender.
this thing. I'll see this one more time, Code.
That is a funny way, bro. That's
God.
a funny way to say.
I don't want to
Because
get
you
into
have
it with a
gender.
bunch of men, okay? No
They got
thanks.
like Mitsuri got like, I'm pretty sure she got feminine characteristics. I mean, come on, she got like, they literally had an ass shot for her, like zoomed into it.
She might have the ass, but not the hose, right? No.
You did not just say that. It's so
What
gross,
the
bro.
fuck? I guess, I mean, what use is that, bro? Like, what's happening?
Code getting
Yeah.
covered.
You're fucking useless. Yeah,
Bro, what is the meaning of
can
code's
sit. She
existence?
can sit probably. Bro. Wait, what?
that's
What is the meaning of code's existence at this given point?
Oh, you know what I mean.
Code.
Yeah.
Code is its purpose is to become the what's he called again? He's the what's it? Kevin from Ben 10. He's
I love that.
Kevin.
Oh, did
Kevin,
we answer
Kevin
YouTube
11.
chat? Where do y'all predict Mitsuki's strength to be?
Baseball
I
to
still
level.
want to see him slam Kawaki. I don't know if it'll happen, but I want to see it.
That's not gonna happen.
Mitsuki can get as strong
Dude,
as he
these do not
wants
look
to.
similar at all.
What do you mean?
Jura does not have the ridiculous eyelashes.
Yes,
He
he
has
does.
a Renegon.
What do you think these are right
Okay,
here?
and the next question
Oh,
Just
is...
okay, so Moegi had the Renegon then, I guess. Yeah, okay, Conway, that's your
He
argument?
does have a Renegon.
Moegi does? Not
This guy,
Mitsuri. Not
No.
Matsuri. Moegi.
Okay, sorry, Matsuri has a Renegon, but like you're saying the eyes looks okay. But Jura, yeah, he has eyelashes. Are they ridiculously long? No.
Yes.
Oh,
No,
wow,
they're not even
Jura
as
has
they're not even as thick,
eyelashes?
bro. They don't have the same thickness.
The
Yeah,
scale
Yeah.
that
get them JoJo's
Code
eyes, bro.
clearly
Yeah.
uses a volumizing mascara. Hidari, or not Hidari, is that his name?
Like,
It's
What
a,
the
code
fuck?
is that's literally a transformation.
This
Jitsu,
one
bro.
uses lengthening mascara,
Oodie.
okay?
No, Oodie,
Clearly
like,
different
look-
mascaras.
Bro.
They ain't
Oodie,
the same
Oodie.
person. Okay.
Oodie, in all
Code is using the
seriousness,
same
you're
ability.
just trying really hard to be stupid about this.
No,
Like, the
this
point
is
of
your
what the
literal
fuck?
argument. You've just
Similar?
flip-flopped
I
on
was
it.
just trying hard to be
Vice
stupid.
versa.
That's crazy.
We are pixel scaling this, Kamui.
Bro,
Okay,
you know,
hey.
you know, there's a better
at
like
different
image to
zoom
use,
outs.
right? Where you actually have his eyes. You
Yeah,
know,
you go
like
find
in
it.
chapter
I'm too
4.
lazy to
Oodie.
find it.
Okay,
Oodie,
next
they're at-
question.
Oodie,
Ne-
No, not
hey,
next
so-
question,
hey.
because I'm not letting you get away with this, Camcam.
Oodie,
Oodie,
What?
Oodie, they're
Oodie,
at
next
different
question.
zoom outs.
Do you think it
They're
would be
at
bad
different zoom
writing?
outs.
Hey,
This doesn't
Kamui, I'm
work.
talking. I'm talking.
Okay, so am I. They're at different
Me
zoom
first.
outs,
I'm more
so it
important than you.
doesn't matter.
Wow, what do you know? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Oh, he
Damn.
stopped. Okay.
But Oodie, you didn't go all the way. There's a gray part of the scale that continues. And
Oh,
also
right,
you
because
picked
I
the
forgot
shortest
the
eyelash.
manga artist is doing the exact amount of pixels. Oh, no, this one's 5 pixels, not 6 pixels long. My
I mean,
bad.
if he does
That
it,
one
then
is
it's
longer,
not
and
it's
also,
not
Oodie,
it's
they're
a
at different
contradiction,
zoom
bro.
outs, So your pixel scale is
I'm so
pointless.
sorry, Cheater Lock. I'm really trying to answer your question, but
Okay,
I guess we're
like-
gonna
so,
have to wait
so
for these
Kamui,
bozos to
so
stop
Kamui, you're
arguing.
saying it has to be
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
identical for the claw grind?
Bro, that's
Okay,
like
in
saying
that
there's not a
case-
difference between a 3-tome and a 2-tome, bro.
Okay, in that case, this doesn't look like Jigen, because it's not identical. His eyelashes don't look like Jigen, so it can't be Jigen.
No, Oodie, you're freaking stupid.
Moegi doesn't
dumbass.
look exactly like Mitsuru.
So you're telling me
Matsuri,
that
so-
Kawaki has these eyelashes, Kamui?
Bro.
Oodie, if you were
Oodie.
here, I would have beat your fucking ass. You're so
Moegi.
fucking up.
they're
You
literally
can't ask me
part
questions.
code, so like why are we arguing this?
So what's your
Oh, wait,
argument?
Mhm.
Oodie's a fucking
We
idiot. That's
know-
why
we
he can't
know
do
they're
it.
So
part
what's
code.
your argument,
Same
Kamui?
character.